guys, Lauren Howman here, and today I wanted to talk about medications and fasting. So first off, let's get the disclaimer done. I am a nurse practitioner, but I'm not operating in that capacity during my water fasting journey, so thank you for following me, but do not take anything I say as advice. This is just my journey and my explanation of it and things that I've done and do and whatever. So before you start any exercise, diet, or fasting routine, you need to consult with your own doctor. So now that that's out of the way, what I want to talk about today is taking medications and fasting. And if you're looking into doing a fasting journey, you've probably seen, I'm in a couple Facebook groups, and I've seen various opinions on various medications. So the snake diet dude, Cole Robinson, he's like hardcore and thinks you don't need any medication for anything, and will tell you to straight get off of them and stop being a pansy and just start fasting, and you'll heal yourself from within and you won't need any of that stuff, and that it's just society and big pharma pushing all these meds on us that we don't need. I don't truly prescribe to that for several reasons, but and then there's some other websites that are definitely more conservative than that. But if you're going to stop any medication, you need to ask your doctor first, because some can have horrible side effects and some you truly need, and nothing is going to heal you from whatever you're taking it for. For instance, I take thyroid hormone medication because I don't have a thyroid. So no way am I going to walk around without thyroid medication. I won't be doing very well. I also have to take a calcium supplement because during my thyroid removal surgery, my thyroidectomy, one of my parathyroids was damaged, and parathyroids are in charge of calcium regulation, and so I always run a little bit low on calcium, so I have to supplement myself with that as well. And I also take an antidepressant. So a little side story, the past couple weeks have been like really difficult for me as far as anxiety goes, and I wasn't sure why, and I was like just having a really hard go of it. And I know like a week ago I talked to you guys about just the emotional baggage that you'll have to deal with once you start fasting and you fix the fatness on yourself. Then other things start popping up because you were so focused on being fat and unhealthy that the other things in your life that pop up were kind of just below the surface, and you were just pushing them back under, and then you have to deal with them. Well, so the last couple weeks have just been really easy to trigger, really easy to anger, really easy to annoy, just not very patient, and that goes for like all around with everyone. And so I got in the bathtub one night to soak and like decompress, and I talked to God for a little bit, and I was like, God, you got to help me. What is the problem here? Like, is it the fasting? What is it? What's going on with me where I'm so angry all the time? And the next morning, why was I easily triggered by one of my kids or my husband? I don't remember, but I remember standing in the shower, and I was like, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for all that help, God. But anyway, so then I get to work, and I always take my pills in the morning, and I take them at work because it's an easier time for me to remember. I grab them out of my bag when I'm sitting down, and I dump them on the desk, and then I take them. And out fell my antidepressant pill. And I was like, oh, maybe he is looking out for me, because it hit me that I hadn't been taking it in a while. Like maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. I don't remember. But at some point I decided I didn't need them anymore, and I stopped taking them. And I've been on them for like years and years. Like ever since I was like maybe 18 or 19, I've been on some form of antidepressant. Whether it was working well or not, it's been tweaked out over the years. But every once in a while, I'll think I'm a badass and think I don't need it. But for some reason this time, my best friend, I talked to her about it the other day, and she said, yeah, you come off your antidepressant about once a year. And the big thing that the antidepressant does for me is it controls my anxiety. So a lot of the antidepressants work well for anxiety as well. And I do suffer from some depression, but mostly I have anxiety. So, but for whatever reason, I'd forgotten that I wasn't taking them, and I was just setting them aside, like in my little pill counter every day. I would just set them aside and throw them back in one of the empty containers, and I just hadn't been taking it for a while. So, hello, I can't believe I didn't realize this with the way I was feeling on the inside, with how I was behaving, that maybe that was the issue. Maybe that was why I was being triggered so easily to anger and frustration and not having very much tolerance or patience. So anyway, went right back on them, and that same day, swear to you, felt so much better. So much better. And I became more tolerant, more patient, more able to deal with all the BS that life throws at you, and not so quick to anger and yada yada. Now that being said, some people can't even go off their antidepressants without being weaned. So I would not recommend doing that without a doctor's supervision. I know for myself that nothing bad happens unless you consider my attitude problem, but I don't go through like withdrawal symptoms or anything, but some people do, and some drugs it's required that you wean off slowly. So that for me, I will be back on that, and I feel so much better already, more like myself. And guys, I'm going to keep it real on here. So this is just my life, and this is what I'm dealing with, so that's what I'm talking about today. You may not find benefit from me talking about my depression and anxiety medication, but you may. So I definitely would not go off any medications without, just be very judicious about it. And then there are some medications you absolutely cannot stop taking. And then there are some medications you have to have a lot of supervision if you're going to fast and use your medication. So if you have blood pressure issues, or you have diabetes or pre-diabetes and you start fasting, you could really mess yourself up if you're still taking your same dose of blood pressure medication, because fasting naturally lowers your blood pressure. So then if you go and take a pill to lower it even more, you could put yourself on the ground and you could be like in some serious world of hurt. So people on blood pressure medications, people on cholesterol meds, people on insulin or diabetic medications definitely need to check with their providers and then be monitored frequently, because your blood sugar is going to drop too. You're not going to need as much insulin. If you're not eating, you're definitely not going to need to cover for what you ate with your food. And if you're taking long-acting insulin in the morning and like at night or whatever you're doing, you're not going to need as much, and you're going to go hypoglycemic if you're diabetic and you're using too much insulin and you're not putting enough carbs and sugars in your body to actually warrant needing that insulin or that diabetic medication, whatever it might be, oral or injectables or insulin. So I don't prescribe to not taking medication that you've been prescribed at all. And I, every once in a while, think I'm like really just doing well in life and don't need my antidepressant. And guess what? I need it. I've always needed it. And when I come off of it for more than a couple days, there's a big change in my ability to function in life in a nice manner and be patient and all that fun stuff. So I would definitely recommend talking to your provider before you stop any medication. If it's not a necessary medication, I mean, you could go without your allergy pills for a few days. That's cool with me, and see if you need them or not, because you will clear out your mucus and have less issues and less inflammation when you're fasting. So you may not need stuff like that, but that's all going to be up to the individual person and his or her doctor. But I don't recommend just coming off all your meds. So that's one of the differences between me and the snake diet guy, Cole Robinson, is that maybe I'm just not as hardcore, but I'm also a very big person on mental health. So I think get your mental health right first, and then worry about your weight and your body health, because you can't have one without the other. And you don't want to suffer on one front to get ahead in the other front, if that makes any sense. So I definitely recommend, if you need something for your mental health, you should take it. There's still a lot of stigma out there as it relates to anxiety and depression. Not for me. I see it every day in my line of work, and I experience it myself. And I think that we should really be talking about it more instead of less. And you shouldn't be embarrassed because you deal with anxiety or depression. And it doesn't mean your life is bad. It just means that your brain doesn't work correctly all the time, and it functions better on medication. So better living through chemistry in some instances. And here I was thinking that I could come off of it and be okay. I was wrong. And God did show me a sign and made me realize that I was not taking that, because I'd already kind of forgotten and just swept it under the table and just wasn't doing it. And so I don't talk about God a lot. I won't do that a lot, but I do talk to God and ask for his help, and I talk to him about my situations and such. So but we won't make the videos about that. But I do believe in God, and that's all fine and dandy. So everybody has their right to believe whatever, I guess. So that's pretty much it for me. I did forget to discuss what I'm up to today. Today is Friday, and last week I did the big Mother's Day week-long binge. It was like 4 or 5 days worth of eating some really bad stuff, and I got up to 200 pounds, down from 185 up to 200. And like I said, it's just water, weight, and bloat. It will go away. So as of today, I'm back at 190, so 10 pounds since Monday morning, and today is Friday. So not bad at all. And I'm still fasting. I'm still a little bit sick. I'm still a little under the weather, but I've been on antibiotics for like 36 hours now for strep throat, and I'm feeling much better. But definitely not 100%. But I don't have any desire to eat, so I won't. Like I talked about yesterday, like if I'm not feeling the desire to eat, then I just won't, because I still have plenty of fat on my body to compensate for me not eating. I've got food stored on my thighs, my belly, my hiney, everywhere, my arms. I've still got enough fat for all that. I've still got about 30 pounds to go to get to the desired weight that I want to get to. And at that point, I will start a maintenance routine to maintain it with fasting and ketogenic dieting type stuff. But today's talk really is all about just being careful with your meds, because you don't want to put yourself on the floor from low blood pressure or low blood sugar. And you also don't want to cause yourself undue distress because you came off your antidepressant medication like a dummy, and thought that you could rule the world without it, because you can't. And some people can. I'm proud of you. Good job. Some people can't, and I'm in that category. So hope everybody has a good day, and I'll be back tomorrow with some other nugget or a discussion topic. Always feel free to reach out to me through Facebook at Lauren Rutledge Howman, Instagram at Lauren Howman, Lauren Howman2 at yahoo.com. You can follow me on Facebook. All of my fasting stuff is made public, and I'd love to hear from you if you have any topics, or if you need help getting started with your fasting journey. I'd love to chat with you on one of those forums. And that's it. I hope everybody has a good day. Bye, guys.